An intra-party fight is playing out within the Arizona Republican Party. At issue, a controversial recounting of over 2 million ballots from last November's election. The audit is taking place in Maricopa County. The GOP-dominated county board appears to be fighting back after being accused by auditors, Senate Republicans, and even former President Trump of deleting files related to the 2020 election before the recount began. The board denies the charge and is asking Senate President Karen Fann to preserve all documents related to the audit, an indication that the county may pursue legal action against her claims of criminal activity. Here's the vice chairman of the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors.
We must say once and for all that it is time to move on. And again, like I said, didn't choose this fight, but the fight was brought to us by the Arizona State Senate. When they raised these questions about our good elections folks, literally alleging criminal actions, that's when we all decided as a team that enough was enough.
Another Republican official who's speaking up is Maricopa County Recorder Stephen Richer. Earlier this month, former President Trump claimed the county's entire voter registration database had been deleted. He provided no supporting evidence. In response, Richer called the claim unhinged, adding, quote, "I'm literally looking at our voter registration database on my other screen. Right now, we can't indulge these insane lies any longer." And Maricopa County Recorder Stephen Richer joins me now from Phoenix. Mr. Richer, thanks very much for being with us.
For having me, Elaine. I see I wore the exact same color shirt and exact same color tie as in that clip. So just trying to keep things consistent.
All right. Our continuity folks, I guess, will appreciate that. So you are a Republican. What compelled you to speak out against this claim?
Just defending the hardworking people of Maricopa County, defending my team. We had been on the sidelines. I had run to make the recorder's office as boring as possible. We did not want to be in the news. That was seen as a loss. We just wanted to humbly go about our administrative job. But when they started leveling accusations on a regular basis and doing so without any questions and doing so without much research, that's when I had to speak up.
And I'm wondering what the reaction has been since you decided to very publicly speak out in this way. As a Republican, what do some of your fellow Republicans say about the stand that you're taking?
It's been mixed. A lot of Republicans have reached out to me and said, thank you. I'm so appreciative that somebody is giving voice to this. And can we get past this insanity? And can we just get on to addressing the very important issues facing both Arizona and the country? And then others have said, you know, you're not representing what we thought you would represent, and that we're going to get you. And what's the political calculation here? And to them, I respond, there is no political calculation. I am doing what is right. I am doing what is moral. I am doing what is truthful. And I will continue to do that, whatever the political consequences may be.
So tell us the latest. Where does the audit of ballots in Maricopa County stand now? And what are the potential outcomes here?
Well, they had to pause for a week because of some high school graduations in the Coliseum, but they've restarted today. Now, in the weeks prior to the graduations, they'd gotten through about 1/4 of the 2.1 million ballots. And so they've still got some long hours and long days ahead of them. And it could go on, I don't know, until August, perhaps. I don't know what the outcome of this is, because the things that we've been hearing about this group, whether it's looking for bamboo fibers and paper, or whether it's using UV lights to search for other conspiracy theories, it doesn't inspire confidence, such that if they came back and they found something, well, no Democrat and no independent would believe these people. So I don't know what a productive outcome is at this point. And listen, we really invite in increased scrutiny. We invite transparency. In fact, I ran this last year on that. But what is going on here is not that. This is like if you did your taxes and they were legitimate. You wouldn't want a company that has no experience, a company that believes in conspiracy theories, and a company that has already said that they believe you committed tax fraud. You wouldn't want them doing an audit. That's not a legitimate audit.
Well, Senate President Karen Fann has requested a meeting with Maricopa County officials, as I understand it. What is the likelihood of that actually happening?
So Maricopa County responded to her latest round of, I wish they were questions, but they were more allegations in a letter format. Maricopa County decided not to show up to the Senate meeting because it didn't seem to be a real endeavor. It was just going to be live streamed, and it was going to be just two members of the Senate, two Republicans. The Democrats weren't invited, and it looked like it was going to be more of a star chamber than a truly collaborative process.
I wonder, just going back to your own sort of personal story, you talked about sort of running on this platform of being boring. Your slogan, as I understand it, was Maricopa County Recorder's Office boring again. You didn't want to draw attention to yourself, but you're adding your voice to this chorus of Republicans who are calling out what is happening with this audit. We've seen what has happened nationally to Republicans who have spoken out against former President Trump's baseless claims of widespread election fraud. They have been boxed out, essentially. We saw this with Congresswoman Liz Cheney, for instance, in her leadership position. What is it that you hope to accomplish there in Arizona by lending your voice to this chorus of Republicans who are speaking out against this audit?
So, Elaine, you identified one of the great ironies in all of this is that in this very election that's being questioned as being rigged against Republicans, I unseated the Democrat chief elections official. So I wasn't even running this audit, this election that I'm now defending. But what do I hope to achieve? Look, I said the politics don't matter. I'm speaking out with the rest of Maricopa County, many of whom are Republicans, and we're hoping that this encourages other Republicans to take that stance. Because I just feel that now is the time. And if you're running this as a political calculation, I think that's the wrong way of thinking about this. But this is a pivotal moment in our democracy, and people need to speak out for what is right and what is honest.
What do you think this means, though, for the future of elections in Arizona, given what we see unfolding right now in your state?
Well, seemingly all this took was one senator who was head of one committee to subpoena all of this material and launch this audit that could go on for many, many weeks. This would not survive a vote in the Arizona Senate. So I have no idea why this wouldn't be done after every election that anyone is unhappy about, and why this doesn't set truly a mind-boggling precedent. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the confidence in the 2022 elections. I'm concerned, ironically, about Republican turnout. We saw this in Georgia. A lot of Republicans stayed home in the Senate runoff election because they were told their vote doesn't matter. And then the other thing I'm watching is, what about candidates who are advancing this theory? Are they going to say to voters, it's all rigged, your vote doesn't matter, but by the way, vote for me in 2022? That's just so facially absurd. It's confusing and it's frustrating.
Well, certainly there's a lot of attention being paid to what's taking place now in your state. Maricopa County Recorder Stephen Richer. Mr. Richer, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.